Hey, this is Jeff Lemire, and we're live at New York Comic Con, and this is 5.2 Questions. I think Scott and I both been planning Raw World from the beginning, even if we didn't really realize it. We just were sharing concepts and story ideas between the two characters, helping each other out, and I don't think a crossover, like an official crossover, was ever really a part of the plan from the start, but it just sort of happened that we had so many things going on that were similar, and we started to see the potential of building it into something bigger. Yeah, Justice League Dark, I'd like to add some more characters. The cast's already pretty big, but the fun thing about that book is drawing weird little characters from the outskirts of DC and putting them in. And there's this old DC character called Johnny Farrell that I've always really liked. He was like a paranormal investigator, you know. So we've kind of added him to the team as sort of a little weird science expert. He's been a lot of fun to write. Sweet Tooth's coming to an end, and we just announced a new Vertigo book that I'll be writing and drawing starting next year called Trillium. It's a big, epic, time-sprawling science fiction love story between an explorer in the 1920s and a space botanist in the year 3097, and somehow they come together and fall in love, and then the universe falls apart all around them. So I'll be drawing it. It's going to be a real chance for me to have fun designing spaceships and all that cool stuff. I love reading when I was a kid, and all the movies I love, like 2001, Space Odyssey, and Alien, and all my favorite sci-fi stuff, and just boiling it all together into hopefully this really compelling story between these two characters. And after Sweet Tooth, I really did want to challenge myself to try to do new things, that I hadn't done before. So no small towns, no antlers, just spaceships, spacesuits, World War I, all this fun stuff. These big set pieces that will be really challenging, but it's good to push yourself in new directions, so you just keep repeating the same story over and over, right? So I'm so close to finishing Sweet Tooth, and it's almost bittersweet, where I'm anxious to move on to new things like Trillium and to get to work on new ideas, new characters and stuff. But at the same time, I'm realizing as I'm drawing the last issue, it'll be the last time I ever draw certain characters in a meaningful way, really, other than convention sketches or whatever. And so I'm trying not to rush through it. I'm trying to savor it, because there will be a time when I'll miss those guys, even though I'm anxious, So we got some questions from Twitter, and thanks everyone for sending these in. The first one is from Lost in Event, and he asks if Frankenstein and Zatanna, when they meet, will refer to their time together in the Seven Soldiers miniseries that Grant Morrison did. They won't refer to it. I don't allude to the fact that, I just allude to the fact that they know each other already. I don't say that it's specifically from that story or not. I don't want to erase that story from DC continuity, but I want it to seem like fresh and new and not just call back the old stuff. So, but they will be meeting in Justice League Justice League Dark Annual #1, which comes out next month. And it's a really big story in the end of the Books of Magic storyline, and it's probably, I think, my favorite issue that I've written for sure. And the second one is from Sean CC2. He asks if there's any chance that the Justice League Dark will enter Fairy. Not the Fairy that we knew from Vertigo, but in our next storyline that I'm co-writing with Ray Fox, they do enter another world there are some fairies in it. It's a magical place which draws on different elements from different Vertigo books in the past, like the Books of Magic and Fairy and stuff, but kind of puts a new twist on them. Hey, thanks for joining us for this Con Away from Con moment at New York 2012. Stay tuned for more exclusive coverage at dccomics.com.